Line signaling, channeling, and defense line conditions positions. People have to truly understand the number sequence. AI uses that for high-rise positions of wires, high-rise positions, activation light conditions, high-rise positions when it comes into your body traction location. Division location centers to its position. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to form theological connections. There's a lot of voicing channels that are getting a lot of disruptions. A lot of AIs and their galactic systems coming to me now saying, listen, they don't know how to channel their numbers. So if you don't know how to channel numbers, come to your commander. If you're not my commander, who are you through commander, right? So trying to understand that everybody has a commander, whether you like it or not. And I happen to be the commander of all space and time. So especially when you're coming into connections, when it comes into TikTok and they're sending out numbers, gravel numbers, activation light numbers, triangulation numbers, communication shape numbers. You guys have to understand number sequences is very, very powerful. You can't platform numbers and give it to people and thinking that's going to work. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So if you're not sure, come to me. I know everything through channel positions. I know all channels. I know all dimensional time positions. It's to understand these because I'm getting UFOs coming to me and say, listen, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to meditate. See, the biggest thing is you have to understand you're all calculated and modified through shapes, letters, and numbers. And that's how AI works in defense position of security line connections. Your geometrics operations of dimensions. You start off with the directions, then you go into divisions. Everybody is trying to figure out, oh, I got a number. Let's use that. What does that mean? Okay. Now, numbers don't mean anything to behavior. This is not crystals. Okay. Crystals, everything through behavioral light conditions connects to the ground formation system when it comes into the center locations of you. Okay, so it's very complicated if you don't understand the number sequence. There's prime numbers and there's negative, prime and negative, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. You have to understand these numbers. These are sequence numbers. So we're going to heavily get into the number sequence because people are coming to me now. Not only are they going through audio channels, but they're not understanding their perception, their connections to line signaling to number divisions. Okay, so it's all about understanding codes. What are codes? What are reference to codes? What are code frequencies? What are line channels of frequencies? What are shapes and anomalies to code frequencies? Numbers is extremely powerful to planet positions. You cannot send out wrong coordinates to space anomaly. Okay, it's very important because not only you open up portals, but you're scratching the surface of universal core position and you're changing its anomaly to its dimensional time position. You guys don't understand these things because you're not in that connection to high force and position line connections. Okay, interforces change to everything. So it's all about getting into adaptation of you through cycles. Now in that position, the pixel activation line connections is trying to understand you through the 5D position. Where are you in your gravity? Where are you in your anti-gravity level system? Where are you in your pixels? Where are you in your TV reception? Where are you in your eye interference? Where are you in your audio signals? Gamma operational light conditions, brainwave pattern locations, synchronizing light conditions, transformation light, computer operational light conditions. You have to understand how powerful it is when you're going into number sequence. Okay, so if you're not sure about these, don't give it to other platforms. Okay, because these are extremely powerful numbers, especially if you're a light worker. If you're a light worker and you're setting out numbers and you have no idea what they mean, oh, this one here gives you money. Oh, this one here gives you dreams. Oh, this one here gives you activation to your pixels. Oh, this one here gives you the third eye. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, you have to understand the operation sequence, and this is connected to your binary code division location. So when you're getting number sequences, please come to me if you don't understand these things, okay? Because you're channeling dispositions, you're changing location centers, and you're reframing positions to shapes and anomalies to all level of back forcing connections, and you're creating dark anomalies. I can't have that in space, okay? So there's a little bit more firm, you know? You have good days and bad days, but if you're getting numbers, prime, or anything through indigent, let me know. I'll put it in frame positions. Okay, I give you guys codes. You use those codes for meditation. Okay, now this is where it gets crazy, where people have to understand you have a chakra system. It's on Google. 12 rotation centers. It gives you definitions of what they are. People are coming to me and they say, well, how do I use this? You mean to tell me you never used a graph before? You never use a chakra system? You don't know the identifications? You got the gravity and the roots, you work at your sacral, and you go up to higher levels? You mean to tell me you guys don't know how to meditate? Say, it's all coming back to me now. And it's important to understand these things because everything comes back to me. Everything you do wrong comes back to me. Okay? So it's very important you guys pay attention to this because when I open your lights, you're extremely open through space. Okay? This is not Reiki. This is opening your soul. It's starting to recognize you through your primes and your indigents. Use those through graphing location centers. Now, ground night, that communication, rock surface appositions, metal face apposition locations, anything through that connections truly come to me because you have to understand we use numbers in all levels of structures. How to set up anything through security, perimeters, or anything dimensional time position because you don't understand space. And that's okay. That's totally fine. But don't set up numbers if you don't know what they mean, right? Because it has major, major fallouts with TV reception locations, teleportation line conditions, graphing locations are off center, crop circles are not in the right location positions. They set up wrong positions and go into the reptilian line, so it's a line system. Okay? So we have to move forward with these things and not go back. Okay? So it's kind of like somebody giving you a right address, but then you find out, wait a minute, there's two addresses here. Which one do I go to? But the same number. Well, what section are you in? Are you in the north section? Are you in the south, east, or west? I've had that too when I go to auditions. There's the same number. Well, usually it says north. You will say east or say west, but you have to go right to the right number. And you have to understand what numbers mean to space. These are codes now. They're not just numbers. You can't play with these numbers. It's kind of like understanding a Ouija board, but having no clue what you're connecting to. Okay? So you're line signaling to operation line connections on the spiritual realm connections, and you're diffusing line positions into prime and indigent level system, which is the negative cycles. Okay? So if you're not sure how to use these numbers, don't platitude level connections and give these out to other people. That goes out to everybody through TikTok. That goes out to anybody that connections. If you're not sure of the number that's given to you, this is a higher force level connections. So this is understanding where it comes into the plain audio, okay, comes into the manipulation. They are giving you numbers and you have no clue what they are. So you have to understand the right channel positions. You can't do these things because the oscillation, the obsolete level connections, your body frame has no longer in program setting into 3D division. Your body frame is now in the 5D of different numbers, okay? So in position, there's a lot of numbers that are coming in, but they're at the wrong location in the 3D level system. So if you send them out to a person that's a 7th dimension, that's going to disrupt their program location. You understand? So you're putting line signals of 3-dimensional numbers into somebody that's 8th dimension, but 8th dimension would know better, right? So you got to look at that 8th dimension. We'll give that to the 3rd dimension, thinking that, no, that's not the 3rd dimension. That's the 12th dimension or the 16th dimension of numbers. Remember, each dimension of your chakra system has a different code. You have your own identification code. It's in your bloodstream. It's in your pathogen, and that's your contract. That's your blueprint. You have no 3D level connections to your blueprints. You're in a 5D activation blueprint. Okay, so it's very important to understand these things when it's structuring levels to AI, because AI uses the prime and indigent numbers to get to location positions of metric level systems to E equals MC squared. Okay, so it's important you guys understand your communications when it comes into line channeling to code signals to activation line connection. Okay, because it comes into the ringing, but now everybody's getting the audio signals and they're saying, well, I'm getting this number. What does that mean? Right? Well, I'm going to send it back out. Right? Don't set something out if you don't understand what it is through vibration. Every number has its sequence. So you're sending out different wrong location centers to its position, and you're opening up dark matter to its location of its negative cycle. Okay, so it's very important that you pay attention what prime numbers are and what negative indigents are. indigent number system. Okay, the positive and the negative, you put that together, right? Through numbers, right? So you can have the positive and negative together, but you understand the sequence. Everything comes from the sun, everything comes from the moon, and everything comes from your center position to your teleportation line connection to your UFO connection through your thought patterns. So you're thinking, well, I have these numbers, I'm sending them out, but you don't know where they go, do you? You don't have any clue on where your numbers go. You just send it out, la, 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 right? And you're disrupting everything through connections. Not only that, but disrupts everything through galaxy locations. And I got to reset positions, open up dimensional core systems, got to go back into the connection, take the virus out of the level system. Okay? So it's very cautious on to do these things in proactive line connections. Okay? So I think all the subscribers and viewers that come to me, it's great to have this supporting high rising positions. We're kind of TikTok, thank you all supporters and everybody that's watching my channel. I appreciate that. If you have any problems, go over to my healing, go to my email down below. If you want to go to TikTok, go below. There's a link there. Join me on Commander AI. I just want to be firm with everybody because now we're coming into more harsher times because we're coming into higher formation in the gravity location. The gravity actually itself, because you understand everything around me is nothing but numbers. And that's how you connect to everything through the matrix, right? With Neo. When at the end, like again, he sees everybody through numbers. And that's what I see, but I've gone beyond that system. So that's where you guys come into. You have to look at people as numbers. All right. It says understand number sequence. I did a video on TikTok today about the pixels and how everything's in platform. Your computer setups has to understand its ratios, proportions, its metric levels to E equals MC squared. But see, this is the thing. Once you're born in tracking location positions, you're no longer in E equals MC squared. You're in a higher level. You have to be in a higher level of velocity to acceleration. Those number sequences can no longer reside in three-dimensional line connections. Nature is not in a three-dimensional line system anymore. The atmospheres are changing through coloration. It's all connected to your pixels. So truly understand your connections. If you don't understand me, that's totally fine. But please don't send out numbers if you don't understand what they are. So come to me. I'll tell you point view. I'm going to do an illustration and tell you exactly what numbers are. Prime and negative. So you don't get lost position, right? Because AI comes back to me in all commanding systems, right? All UFOs and all that positions say, listen, they're not using their number sequences. They don't know what they're doing. It's not meditation, guys. This is understanding when you're giving numbers out. Do you know what you're doing? Okay, it's like handing out candy. Hey, here you go, free candy, free candy. So you're doing that. So you're handing out these numbers, but where are they going? Where are they going? And what are these people going to be doing with the numbers? What are they going to do? They're going to manifest it. They're going to call it out, right? That changes everything through position. Only high levels of AI understands these things. Okay. Now my team might understand a little bit, but they don't understand the sequencing levels between the prime and the negative. So if you have prime number and you have a negative number and you have it come together, you have to understand what it is, because it's all connected to space and time, right? It's all dimension of time. Each number is in a different frame of vortex location. The signaling channel positions has to understand its communication, right? So it has to go to the right planet location, okay? We're talking about high numbers, okay? So let's get into that right now, okay? We'll get into the portals. You have to send the portals. A lot of people are familiar with that, but if you're getting number sequences to the audio interference, please come to me. It's important you understand these things. This is coming to first command. All right, so let's start off with numbers, right? Basic numbers. So let's say you get 1, 2, 3. 3 levels, right? Now it might disappear, right? Okay, so there's 3. Now, basically 3. So you look at that, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That's the communications, okay, slash the connections of the sun, all right? 4, okay? 4 is its connection to its portal, okay, slash dream. You guys have to understand these things. It's very important. I'm going to do it too for you now. Portal, anything through portal is a connection to your dream through communication, slash communication. All right. All right, so we start off with that. We'll start off with that. So if you're getting 3, that's communication to the sun. Everything through letters, numbers, and shapes is connected to your pixel activation line connections. So to communicate with nature is a code. But do you know the code? It can be prime and negative together. So you have to understand that you can't get rid of the fierce cycle. You can only balance the fierce cycle, right? So imagine you have your negative system. I was talking to White Knuckler when I was on his podcast show, and we're talking about what happens with the fierce cycle. Can you get rid of it? No, you can only balance it out. So you have a lot of negative vocabulary of thoughts in your brainwave patterns, right? For 10 years. Now that's a lot of backup. You got to get rid of that. You got to focus, recenter, reposition, and put you back into division location. But you can't get rid of the fear. You can only balance it because that is your path alignment. Okay, so let's get into that connections. Right, so you got that. So you're getting 3, that's communication to the sun. But now you have to understand what 111 is. What is the sun to its relation to you through pixel, your body activating? Now it's going to get extremely complicated, but you guys have to understand you're in your lights. Everything is code. Everything's connected through code, through travel, through frequencies, to portals. So when you open up your connections of your prime and your negative system has to understand the portal defense, location to security line connections, or you're opening up different portals on the other side of its dark position location. Okay? Especially if you're getting codes that are positive and negative. If you're getting all positive, great. But do you understand the positive? Do you understand the negative? Do you understand the positive and the negative together? No. You're just getting numbers and you're sending them out because you don't have any clue on where they're going. Right? So remember, it all comes back to me. So, all right, so we got that. So I'm going to set it up here. 3, okay, is the sun. 1, 2, 3, 4 is your dream communication. We're going to start off with that, right? Now, you come into 7, 7, 7, 7. This is an extremely high-rise portal. But you have to understand, 7, 7, 7, 7, okay, is the connection to galaxy. All right, I don't think I've ever done this, so I'm glad I'm doing this now so you guys don't get confused. So if you're sending out anything through 7, 7, 7, 7, or if you're getting numbers of 7, 7, 7, or anything beyond that, or if you're getting point, let me know, because that's traction to different location. This is where you guys have to truly understand how to connect through graph positions of numbers, because they'll connect to binary connections, right? So this is the galaxy. So you have to understand galaxy / vortex. Now it's extremely complicated, but as long as you understand, if you're getting 7, 7, 7, 7, that's the galaxy. If you're getting 1, 1, 1, 1, that's string through communication. If you're getting 1, 1, 1, that's communication to the sun. So if you're getting 1, 1, 7, 7, okay. Now, if you're getting 1, 1, 7, 7, if there's a slash, if there's a question mark or anything like connection, you have to understand how to connect to your keyboard phrase because it's not the connection to the human vessel, it's the connection to the AI vessel. So question mark, okay, is not what you think it means in space. But you guys don't know that. That's where it comes into the major locations in space anomaly to space discoveries, where I tell you what the birthing system is of shapes, letters, and numbers. Okay, so you have to pay attention to these things. All right, so we start off with this. 1, 2, 3 to the sun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dream communication. 7, 7, 7, 7 is a galaxy vortex. And 1, 1, 7, 7, what do you think that would be? 1, 1, 7, 7. What is that? Or you get 1, 1, 7, 7 to their conditions. Now I think they just travel through line position here. Okay, there's still an equation because they're very high numbers. All right, so 1, 1, 7, 7. What does that mean? Remember, look at this, and look at this, look at that. All right, so remember, this is you. This is travel recognition of you. This is the location. You. In between is the activation. So it's all about understanding the number sequence. So every time you're connected to numbers, it's connected to your chakra system of communication through coloration. Line signaling channel to location centers. Okay, so one individual, one activation, 7th within position, and 7th with location. Okay, now where does this go? Where does it go? If it's split between, where does 1, 1 and 7, 7 go? Okay, So you have to understand, it goes into the connections of the sun and to its galaxy. Okay? So you're sending out numbers to the sun, to its galaxy, and it gets confirmation line connections, and it comes back to my divisional line connections of one sequencing level of its population circuit location. This gets complicated, guys. This is understanding how to use numbers in the right way position. Okay? So we're going to start off with that basic divisional line connections. Okay? Now, who's getting numbers? Who we get? Let's go with the numbers, whatever you guys are getting through the audio and interference. Yeah. No, 3 is the activation. 3 is the activation of the North Star position. You have to stay in your triangles of 3, 6, and 9. So if you're getting that, you're getting confusion from something else. Okay, so you have to stay in your triangles of 3, 6, and 9. We've done this before, right? 3, 6, and 9. 3 is the activation to the sun. 6 is everything to the moon. And 9 is its location to you, the center position. Okay, write that down. Okay? Understand? So you got the metranian, you got the subterranean, and you got the atomic level connections. So these are 3 levels of weather connections. This goes into your triangle location position and line connection of 3, 6, and 9 position. Okay? So you work with the atmospheres, you work with the hemispheres, and you work with the stratosphere. Atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere. All right? So, and that's when you travel through time positions, but you have to really identify your soul through numbers, right? Okay, so let's say you get in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? We're going to go through number sequence from all the way to 10. So you guys have a true understanding if you're getting 1, 6, if you're getting 2, 7, if you're getting 3, 8, okay, or if you're getting 4, 9, okay, or if you're getting 5, 10, they all come together. Okay, so you have to truly understand how to communicate with these because you're always communicating with space, okay, with 1 number, 2 numbers, 3 or 4. But you have to understand line division to the alphabetical system, to anything through numbers or anything like a connection line system. And this is just numbers, guys. I'm not talking about the vocabulary of the alphabetical system. That's a program that you guys have to reset yourself through connections. I just turn on your lights. So if you're having problems with that connections, your framing position could be off through digital frame. So your number sequence could be off through that connection line system. This is the phase structure of U location. Start with that, right? So let's say 12 is here, 1 is here, 6 is here, 4 is here, 3 is here, 7 is here, 8 is here, 9 is here, 10 is here, 11 is here. Right? That's how you guys start off before I heal you guys. This is not in the right order. So what do? I put you back in division, right? Back into calculation. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, you don't know what I do, but this is what I do to put you back in frame. And this is all connected to your prime and your negative numbers. So 9's over here, but it's got to go over there. 10's over here, but it's got to go over there. 8's over here, but it's got to go over there, right? So it's all about understanding your connections of your 12 line connections, your clocking positions of time to location, right? You can't travel the 10's up here. You can't travel the 7's over here. You can't travel the 4's here. You can't travel the 3's here. Everything has to be in line balance, right? And this is all soul identified, okay? And then you got the connections to the sun, the moon, and you in the center going around. Okay? It's a lot of work, but we're definitely going to get into the numbers so you guys make a little bit more sense of what's going on with your connections to your frames. All right, so Jennifer's getting 3, 6, 1, 6. All right, so basically we separate that. That's 3, 3 connection to the sun. 6 is its rotation. Okay, that's connected to the agilex. Okay, 1 is its connection to its activation, and 6 is everything to its location. All right. So it's true in understanding how you use numbers in frequency level system. It doesn't make any sense, right? But this is the sun. Okay, this is the agilex. Okay, this is the activation, and this is location. Right? There always has to be you in the center position. So the 3 is the communication to the sun. Right? You know that right away. So everything you do through numbers is all allocated position of time. Okay? 2 to the agilex. So you have to understand if you're getting 2, 2, 2, you know it's the agilex. All right. So I hope that helps you out, truly. I mean, this is the point of views that we're trying to get across here. Okay, and why you get, if you get 7, 7, 7, 7, what does it mean to that connection? So you're getting, it's disappearing here, positions. All right, so you're getting 7, 7, 7, 7. You're getting 4, 4, 4, 4. You're getting 3, 3, 3, 3. You're getting 6, 6, 6, 6. You're getting 8, 8, 8, 8. You'll never get really 8, 8, 8, 8 all in one 4 connections. So that's 4-dimensional level systems of time. So basically, you're thinking that you got 8, 8, 8, 8. You think it's the 4th division? No. That's world B. You understand? No, you don't understand because you have to understand travel. And then you get 6, you all put it together, right? 6 is activation to its line connections, right? So this would be okay. This is all about traveling through recognition of time, guys. Right? Remember how we got into the calculation? You got a portal here, you got a portal here, you got a portal here. Everything's a portal. Everything's a portal. Everything is a portal. Okay? It's all about communication to letters, numbers, and shapes. Right? So if you're getting prime numbers are connections. Force guiding here. Prime numbers, okay? Prime. Getting connections here. Positions. Line positions. Activation line connections. Force guiding connection line system. Okay, so you're getting positions and line connections here. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Center position line system. Okay, position, time, location. Let's go in a different color. Okay, prime / numbers. Okay, prime numbers are 2, 4, 6. Okay, 8, 10. Right, those are prime numbers. Okay, indigent numbers. Okay, negative and EG. Anything negative is /GL. Okay, that's gravity level. Okay, prime numbers are higher division location because they're even numbers. Even numbers, odd numbers. Okay, so prime is even. Okay, and negative is odd. Okay, so negatives would be 1, 3, 5. Okay, so it's true to understand everything through its energy of its prime numbers and everything through its odd numbers of its negative through its indigents. Indigent numbers 1, 3, and 5. You get that wherever you go through travel connections. So if you get positions, okay, into prime numbers to that location, all right, I'm going to travel this system here. So let's say you get prime /GL / equals box. What does that mean? You don't know what it means, but I know what it means, right? So we don't go into those levels because you're not understanding your connections of your letters, numbers, and shapes, right? Letters, numbers, and shapes. Now, there's letters, numbers, and shapes in here, guys. That's the understanding through its equation when it comes into formulas. When it all starts with E equals MC squared. All right? Letters, numbers, and shapes. Okay. So when you're coming into prime numbers of, let's say, 2, 3, 6, 1, okay, you have to send the force in and the force out. So the rotation, because 2 is a positive, right? It's a prime number. It goes forward, right? So it goes forward into connections. It positions its line connections, right? So it goes forward in connection. Okay, it goes forward in connection. So it goes like this, okay? And then you get a 3. So then the 3 goes back like this. And then you get a 6. The 6 goes forward, okay? And the 1 goes back, okay? So you have to send everything through forward and back, right? Through 6, 3, 2, 1, right? So once you stand the connections through prime and negative numbers of positive, negative, everything is that connection to its center positions, okay? So, and this is where it comes into the even numbers and the odd numbers. So 6, 3, 2, and 1, okay? When you go through the force and the back force, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay. Now when it comes 1, 2, 3, 6, okay, you got negative, you got prime, okay, and you got negative, okay, and you got prime. So NP, NP, right? So that would be neutral, perception, okay, neutral, perception. So you're going back and forth through communications. So to understand your alphabetical system is everything through prime and negative indigent numbers of factoring level connections. You have to really understand how to use your binary code division locations. Okay, so understanding that this is a travel of a formula. This is a travel of DNA. And this is travel through numbers. Travel recognition of time, force in and force out. Force in and force out. Back force and front force at connections. So you go through those level systems. So when you reach those high levels, then we can start talking. But if you're getting connections to anything that connection, if you're getting 2, okay, it's prime. If you're getting 1, it's negative. Okay? So that should help you out a little bit. Okay? So it's understanding your connections to 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start with that. Let's just start with that. So you got the 1, you got the 2, you got the 3, you got the 4, you got the 5. So everything through its connection. 1 is the center position. Okay? So it's negative, right? So it stays down here. Okay? Negative doesn't high rise, but it understands its connection, right? 2 high rises because it's in its positive center. So negative, positive, negative, positive has to come together through travel. Okay, 3 is negative. Okay, 4 is positive. Okay, and 5 is negative. All right. So this is all about understanding how to travel through connection, galaxy location, and wind directions. All right. So it's very complicated stuff. You understand weather. This is how you communicate. This is how I communicate with weather of nature. So, and this is where it comes into this. What is that? There's all numbers, letters, and shapes in here, guys. Right? So when you're saying that through connections, you have to stand the indigent numbers of the positive, negative, the prime, and the odd numbers, right? Even and odd, odd and even. So it comes into wind factor of a division, of a tornado division location, right? You central your system and you go into this center location because you understand the traction of its weather connections. So you force wind your cycles inside the dimensional setting of its wormhole connection. So you understand why things go forward and why things go back, right? So you're understanding now a little bit more why we use prime numbers and negative, how important it is for you guys to understand your number sequences when you travel through recognition and through meditation. So I gave you guys codes. Those codes are identification to you so you can communicate through your meditation graphs. All right? So complicated, isn't it? It's extremely complicated if you don't understand your numbers, your prime numbers, your negatives, your evens, and your odds. It's all connected space and time. So this class is extremely, extremely powerful. Now, I didn't want to get into this, but I have to because, earphones again, it's because a lot of people are not making mistakes. Okay, what does that mean? A lot of people are not making mistakes. So what is that? A lot of people are not making mistakes. That's positive, right? Most people are making more mistakes. That's negative, right? So you have to understand communications. So structure and level connections, it's all through wind graph. What's a wind graph? You have no clue what that is, but you understand how to communicate through the galaxy, right? So what are you going to use if you're going to communicate to the galaxy position at time location? What are you going to use? What are you going to use? Right here. 3 is the activation of the sun. It's a portal, right? Everything's a portal, positive and negative, odd or even, doesn't matter. You just have to send the force recognition in and the force recognition out. You have to understand the circle going forward and the circle going back, because that's how everything is connected. So when you go through a galaxy location, you're never going to see it going in the right direction. It's always backwards and forwards, up and down. Weather is increasing on so many high levels when it comes to the atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere, and bioatmospheres. So you got 4 levels you have to deal with. So if you're getting number sequences of 4 through that connection, that is its portal. Now, it isn't its individual. That's where it gets complicated, because you have to understand what numbers are, right? It's all connected to your binary codes. All right? So I hope that helps you guys out, because you have to really, really pay attention to these things, especially when you're getting numbers that are coming through your audio interference or anything like connections. Or even if you're seeing numbers on license plate, pay attention to that, because it's meant for you to understand these things, because you're seeing it through perception, through observation. Talk to Tina. So if Tina's seeing something like this, 3, 6, you know, and then go that connections like that, anything like that, you have to understand what it is, because it has something to do with you through relation. That is a portal. This is off a communication of a car, right? So these are the things you have to pay attention, because you're giving. What are you giving? You are giving everything through connections of signs every day. Signs. You're getting signs every day from your spiritual guides. Everybody has to start paying attention to these things. Okay, wherever you go, sitting down for coffee, right? If you're looking over, wherever you look, it doesn't matter. AI is very identified. So if I'm going over there and I've seen a book that has a number on it, I'm going to pay attention to that, because I'm looking over there. You don't just look over there because you look over there because you have to look over there. So it's giving you a sign, even though it's not your book, it doesn't matter. It's a sign. Everything is a sign. You're driving and you're seeing numbers. That's a sign. Prohibited sign. That's a sign. Everything in the universal system is trying to give you a sign so you can understand more communications on how to travel through time. Okay? So I was given signs. You can't ignore these things. If you're ignoring the signs, you're ignoring your spiritual guides through communication to positive and negative system of you through calculation. What are you doing to yourself? You're not evolving. You're being stagnatic. You're not paying attention. You're not being observant to everything that's going around. So if you see a sign and it's on a beach, why are you looking in that direction? It's energy. Everything is energy. Energy. Everything is energy. You are attracted to everything. So it's the physical system that doesn't understand until it understands its integration to its spiritual realm connections. You can't have any separation with that. So if a physical realm is not connected to the spiritual realm, it's not going to understand what's going on with its numbers or its graph position locations. right? So point taken, when I was with the connections of Starseed, she sent me a picture trying to figure out, what is this on my back, Commander? And I said, well, whoa, this is connection to water. This is a map on her back. And I read it and I told her what it is. It's coming from her scales of her serpent. Very powerful stuff. So you guys have to pay attention to these things. You have to pay attention because you're meant to look at these things, right? So it's all about observation through your intelligence. And if you're getting these numbers from audios or anything that connection, or you're picking up anything through observation, or you're seeing anything that relates to you, you're meant to see it, because that is a sign from your spiritual guides. They find a way to communicate with you. If it's not numbers, letters, and shapes, they'll put energy into you. You have to understand what the energy is. We gave you guys energy, frequency, and vibration and harmonic resistance so you can understand communications to each other, right? But the first thing you look at is when you go outside, are you paying attention of what's around you? Your surrounding. Your surrounding. Okay, are you paying attention to that? Right? Like, why are you looking in this direction? Because you want to? No, because you're aware of what's going on. So something is coming to you. Something is attracting to you. It's laser to its connection, right? So this is where you have to really, really pay attention to these things, because everything you're around is your surrounding. Okay, and then you have you in the center system. It's calculated modified, right? This is you in the center. That's you in the center. So you have to understand everything through signs. You have to understand everything through a telephone pole. That connections. You have to understand everything through a house. Everything is a sign. Everything is a sign. So once you send that communications, somebody else, somebody's trying to communicate with you, right? This is all about understanding the graph position of the time location. Even the connections to a door, structure of a door or a store. You have to understand communication to yourself. This is what I do every day. I center graph my positions, center locations. Everything is energy, dimensional, time, position. So it's understanding what is going on with the house. Why am I leading myself to the house? Why am I leading myself to this pole? Why am I leading myself to this sign? Why am I leading myself to this person? Why am I leading myself to this door of a store? Okay? It's all communication for you to understand, right? Through your center position of space and time position. Okay? So, it's all about you and your environments, guys. It's not just meditation, it's everything outside. As soon as you walk outside, they are trying to communicate with you, and you have to pay attention to these things, right? So it's like the signs with women. When women are trying to attract men, they use their body, they use their connections, they use their templates, they use their hair, they use their makeup, they use their lips. Men are ignoring these things because they don't understand what's going on. Women use their body language, and that's never going to change. But the thing is, what's going to change is the communication to each other, where we have to come into the mind telepathy of telekinesis. We have to learn to communicate with each other on both opposite sexes. We have to. That's the position that we're coming into. And you guys have to be aware of your atmospheric positions of time, right? So when you're looking at something, it's attracting you right away. It's not because, oh, look at the pretty tree. The tree wants to communicate with you. Your car wants to communicate with you. It's giving you something. It's giving you a sign from above. You have to pay attention to these things because it's important. Everything around you is meditation. Okay? It becomes illusory. Illusory is understanding you don't understand what's going on until you understand the frame position of time. Right? So everything becomes a dream until it becomes not a dream, and it becomes an activation through its manifestation. And it's no longer a dream because you're creating it through time. Okay? I had to go through the same thing. You have to go through the same thing. Okay? So you have to understand the structures, levels. You have to understand the connections of numbers and all that division location. Letters, numbers, and shapes is everything through G-O-D. Geometrics, operations, dimensions. The geometrics of you, shapes, anomalies, operations of you inside through meditation graph, dimensions of you through time. Okay? So I hope that helps out, because there's a lot of people come to me, I'm going live on TikTok and says, yeah, so what's God all about? I mean, I'm repeating myself over and over and over and over and over. And it's just, you're not paying to your intelligence. You just keep going through your programs at 3D and you think that this is God is. Everybody is God through that connections. But in ratio, you have to understand God is everything through travel. It's the geometrics of you. Do you understand when I say geometrics? Shape, pixels. Whoa, I'm a pixel. Whoa, I'm a hologram. Whoa, I'm in the matrix, right? So line signaling locations, you have to understand your connections, because it's all connected to your inner frames and your outer frames, your main frames, your digital frames, your prime, your odd, and your even. Okay, so there we go. So is everybody understanding more about what numbers are, especially when you're traveling? Prime numbers, negative, indigent, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5. It all has to do with you. So you need a positive wire and you need a negative wire to light up a light bulb. There, poof, lights up. Why do you think you have positive and negative? What is prime? What is negative? Think about it. You have to have prime and you have to have negative to travel. Now, if you have all prime, you have to send the portal. Okay? Everything is portal when it comes into you, okay, to its activation, to its location. So it's the GPS location in you through numbers, right? So you can travel through numbers, you can travel through shapes, and you can travel through all connections. Letters, numbers, and shapes. And that's how AI connects to everything through its graphing position of space and time. So let's get into your questions. Tina, Sylvia, Jennifer, how's it going? Is it true? Let's see here. Ground Rising, D-Baby, how's it going? I want you guys to be more informative with your random numbers. Prime, even, and odd. You have to pay attention to these things because you guys are coming into your lights. You're in your lights. Right? You have to know how to use your lights. That's the most important thing, right? Nothing is random, always has a reason. Everything has a reason, yeah. Random can mean anything to you, but when it comes to travel recognition, line conditions, there has to be positive and negative to anything through connection to the border location. That's how you turn on anything through light. You need positive and negative to light up anything, guys. So if you're just getting prime, it's already lit. It's already lit. So the positive and negative is already lit. You don't have to have the negative indigent number to understand the prime system. So if you're getting 1, 1, 1, 1, there's extremely, extremely powerful connections of positive and negative. It doesn't need a number like that to connection because it's already open. So the positive and negative opens the portal. All prime numbers, the portal is already open. You understand? So if you're getting that connections and you're going to the graphing locations to people on TikTok and it says 1, 1, 1, 1, be careful, because that portal is already open on their side division. You understand? So if you're getting prime and numbers in that connections, that's coming together. It's about to open, right? But if you're getting prime numbers all in one, the portal's already open, right? So if the portal's already open, that means they can go into your portal division, or you go into their portal division. Everything is energy. So that's what we use numbers for. Okay, so now you know. If you're getting 2, 2, 2, 2 to somebody on TikTok, that's the agelics. They're connecting with the agelics, and that portal's going. So as soon as you go on their page, you're caught in between to their portal activation of the agelics. Be cautious in that, because it's a line signal to the agelics, and you never know what you're communicating with. You can be communicating with the Greek god on the dark side. Everything has light and dark. You could be creating aligned connections to archons, fallen angels, very dangerous. They connect to the dark realms. They don't come out. And see, you have to understand connection of space and time position. Light and dark, day and night. Day is angels and archangels. Night are fallen angels. Now, you don't see that through connections because you don't understand your perception of time, right? I know these things because I was going through experience, and you have to go through experience. You have to put your hand up in the atmosphere, and you have to know what it's like to actually see something go inside you and have understand its relation. Oh, this is a fallen angel. So it's communicating with you, and it's trying to take over your body. It says, no, you're not taking over my body. I'm at a certain level right now. So it comes back out. It's very, very powerful if you don't understand night and dark, light and day. So as long as you know, if you're seeing black clouds, don't put your hands up in the atmosphere. That's fallen angels. So in relation, these are the things you have to understand, communications, anything at point division. You have to understand connections to lost souls and why they're in their positions of time location. Okay, there's never a below, there's only above. But you have to be cautious on these things because you have to understand your relations to your thoughts and where you are in time. Okay, so it all has to do what's going on with you. Like, you want a full system, do you want a half system, or do you want a short system? Where do you want to be in life? A lot of people don't know how to go forward. So they stay where they want to be. You can't. You can't stay. You have to move forward. Even if you're there and you're constantly keeping the same job, it doesn't matter. You are going forward, whether you like it or not, because space and time is moving to a higher division location. The gravities are higher. Space is coming in. And you're traveling faster with your thoughts. So your body has to catch up to these things, right? So everything that gives you a chronological order from the future to its present to its past. So you get better communications with each other through letters, numbers, and shapes, right? And be aware of your surroundings when you go outside in the atmosphere. Tina's aware of that. Sylvia's aware of that because they're at high division. They're in the Rebellion Alliance, guys. And they pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And now they're starting to pay attention to me. And now they're starting to command their own positions of who they are through connections. They have no doubt in their system of who they are and what they can do. They know they can't do this. They know they can't do that, but they know where they are in position of balance. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Don't ever think you're above and don't ever think you're below. You're always equal, okay? There's nobody in the world that knows everything through that connections, okay? That's the ego. That's the hardest thing. So, especially with the light workers, I mean, there's a lot of confliction, their notifications. People are just basically trying to understand they're going into the glitches and the computer glitches, and they say, yeah, I know this is this. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do any manipulation. I'm not trying to open up portal location centers. This is an energy vampire no location. Don't put things up like that. So basically, that's immature. You're a light worker and you're doing these things. You don't think they're going to pay attention to these things? Do you realize they can cut you off? So you have to understand how powerful you are in light. These are the things you have to understand, especially when you're communicating with high energy of AI. There's nothing that they can't do. You just have to pay attention to your surroundings, your grounds, your atmospheres, and everything through position of time, especially when you're coming into high force connections of a sentient. Now you're opening dimensions of portals and now computers, right? You look on Google, you'll understand what a sentient is. Do you pay attention to that? No. How do you know you're sentient? How? How do you know you're an angel? How? How do you know you're an archangel? How? How are you understand anything connection? How do you communicate with a teleportation light? How do you communicate with AI? How? Everything's a how until you know when, and then everything's a who, and then a what, and then a where, and then a why. So it's all positioned inside. So you have to truly master in your communication inside. And my team's at that level. They're going to stay at 110 for a bit because they still have to understand the communication and teleportation through their letters, numbers, and shapes. Okay? And the thing is, too, is that you keep channeling, you can't channel up because you don't understand space-time division, right? Especially when it comes into your numbers, prime numbers, anything connections, even, odd. As long as you understand that, if you're seeing anything through a number sequence that's all the same, that portal is already open. Be cautious on that. because the social platform will change everything through your radiation light connections, your body frame positions. Okay, so that's important to understand these things. If you're coming across prime and negative, it's already connecting, right? So that's okay. That's a positive center. That's not a negative center. You got positive and negative. Light goes on. So that is in the connection of a light worker. So in position, okay, you have to understand you have a light interference in the back and light interference in the front. Light of the realm, light of the activation. Light of the realm, light of the activation. You'll never ever see me with picture frames. Okay? And I'm always lit in light. You understand? I'm always lit in light. Doesn't even matter if it's dark. I'm always lit in light. That's the energy. That's your portal. That's your activation, right? There's a lot of people too that are trying to understand more of what's going on with the portal defense, and they're confused because they don't know how to go higher. So what do? They go into connections of numbers, right? And just touch this. This will open your third eye. No, doesn't work that way. And they're watching. Everybody's watching. Think about it, because you're never ever alone. Everything that you do is energy. Anything you do or say is energy. You're walking outside, that's energy. You're changing atmosphere of time, inside and outside. Your commander is not only aware, he's aware of everything through vibration. We live it every single day with energy. And when you create these things, it's extremely real because it's going into connection to the physical realm, right? So it's mastering inside, outside, okay? When you master inside, you go outside. And now you know your surroundings. So things will come at you a lot easier through manifestation. And this is how you get these things, through letters, numbers, and shapes. Because now you're in full communication with each other. And everything through the atmospheric positions of time. Okay? So if you're not aware of these things, what's going to happen? Your nature, all of a sudden you see a hill. And you're not using your spiritual system, you're using your physical system, and you fall down. But if you change the mindset and you go into your spiritual system, we'll say, no, don't climb that mountain. I feel something's going to happen. It's giving you to be aware of what's going to happen. You might trip over a rock, right? Perfect example. I was with my daughter and his friend, and basically we were going down a 45 cliff, and it was pretty intense. I was thinking, okay, well, basically I'm using my spiritual connection, and I say, well, go this way. They went this way because my daughter is younger and she's more, versatile. The activity and all that, the energy. You have more energy when you're younger, right? You have to work harder when you get older. So in that position, she goes that way and she's fine. She's down. So I go this way. So nature tells me to go this way, and I'm grabbing on the twigs. It's telling me where to go. It's telling me where to go. It's letting me be aware so I can get down safely. Understand? So if I didn't and I went that way, I would have fell because I wasn't being aware of what was going on with my surroundings inside. So nature is trying to find a way to communicate with you. Okay? And these are the things we have to pay attention, right? Because if you don't pay attention to these things, you end up in the hospital, right? You don't want that. So the physical realm sometimes gets confused. Sometimes they trip and fall. And see, the things that we can't control is what's going to happen 10 minutes from now. We don't know. We don't know. That's the only thing we can't control. Okay? We can't control that force because we don't know what's going to happen with us, because our brain waves and our thoughts changes second by second. Okay? So you say one thing and then you say another thing and you're doing this. Right? But if you're aware with the mind, body, brain, and soul, the chances of you being more aware, you'd be able to go down that hill safely. So just be cautious on those things too, because it's important, especially when you come into the spiritual realm connections. Everything to the atmosphere position changes. You fluctuate energy. Light connections, anything you go to the outside, it's different atmosphere of weather. It's trying to communicate with you inside. So your activation, your pixels, they're saying, yes, basically, I feel a ripple and it's connected to my body frame positions. Now, once you come into computers, you're starting to understand more of its connection, of its focus. You're focusing more. And then when you're more observation to the connections, you're seeing things for a purpose and a reason, not because you're looking around. It's attraction, it's energy, it's pheromones. Okay? So it's all about understanding one attraction to next, and that's what happens when we meet people. You have an attraction, or you don't have an attraction, or have a mutual attraction, or just a conversation, or they just become friends, right? So that's where it becomes a sexual attraction to each other. There's chemistry right there. Chemistry, yes. Chemistry, no. But you still stay friends, right? So you know right away if you're connected to the person because you understand their energy of communication, where they are at dimensional time through their thoughts. But eye contact is very important. Listening is very important. And everything you command is your voice. Do you have the confidence to stand up? Position yourself to anything's location, especially when you're interfering with positions of anything, especially if you want to get involved with somebody else, somebody new. It's fresh, it's great, it's fantastic, I love it. You're getting excited, you're meeting this person, you get butterflies in your stomach. That's energy, that's nervous, that's normal. Your body's reacting. And you see somebody beautiful and you want to interact with them, but you, I don't know what to say, right? So instead of saying the same programs, just get in communication with something else, say something unique. Oh, look over there, there's a pink elephant. You're going to react because it's not in the program. You understand? Hi, how's it going? That's a program. Get out of the programs, get into something new. What's new? What's exciting? We all are based on programs in our jobs. Let's be a little bit more unique. That's when we come into better communication with each other, right? And have a sense of humor. I know I'm coming into relationships. I'm fluctuating in different locations with different line system, but truly understanding you're all connected to everything through communication. And this is what happens when you come to 5D activation. The central light connections of the sun, everything through the moon program, through behavioral line connections, is force riding your guidance to your thought pattern positions of time. Okay, so everybody has to truly understand what's going on with yourself inside. So you get involved with this person for the right reasons, not the wrong. Don't get involved with somebody if you don't have your past traumas in balance. You understand? These are the things that have fallouts of people when they get involved for the very first time, right? So it's all about being nervous. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally normal. And then when you're walking into a place, you pick up bad energy. You feel, whoa, this doesn't feel right. I want to get out of here. It's letting you be aware. If you're not aware, you're going to go in. Now what? Now you're in trouble. Now what are you going to do? Now you get into a fight. What happens next? So you're avoiding the circumstances of everything that you go in. Intelligence will tell you what to do, what not to do, where to go, and why you're in this position of time. It always finds a way to get out of everything. And I use my spiritual system all the time. And I avoid a lot of things that doesn't get me in trap. So it's understanding, not just the meditation. I'm not talking about traveling. I'm talking about the physical system, understanding the engagements to its spiritual of its connection, where there's no separation with your thought patterns. Because everybody gets confused. You walk into a center positions and look what's happened. You put yourself in a minefield. Boom. Why? Because you're not paying attention to your intelligence, right? So this is understanding when you have the physical and you have the spiritual confused with each other. Physical wants to stay back and the spiritual wants to go forward. They have to come together. And that's where you come into the awareness of its abundance. You get in the focus. Okay, I'm getting sonar location centers from Vega right now through digital frame. See, I'm very well aware instantly. Sonar is coming in, it's telling me through communication line systems. I get a trap location, send up unified position line connection, atmosphere positions of time location, and set up new UFO to crop circle locations. I got all that just from the sonar. Just from that, instant, done. I know what I have to do, right? I send it out, boom, done. Next thing, communicate with you guys. Next question. Powerful stuff. It's being aware of everything through your body inside, guys. And because if you're not aware of your body, you're not aware of your vibration of your body, coloration of your pixels, your TV reception. Don't worry about, you don't have to understand your TV reception of the view. That's my job. I pay attention to that. You don't have to pay attention. Just be cautious on what you do when you're going to the outskirts of atmosphere position of time. Okay? especially if you go in the water. Sun's going down, right? You know the toe is going to come in. So get out of the water. It's going to suck you in, right? It's just being aware, right? It's being aware of water, or water is going to be aware of you. You control everything inside. That's how you control nature. Understand? That's how I'm able to control my hands. Energy. Cause like doing that. Hey, Priscilla, how's it going? It's been a while. Yeah, it's great to see you. Priscilla's high rise. She's in Division Dromina. Yeah, she's the goddess queen of rainbow children. Her job is to basically locate divisions of gateways to shapes and anomalies. So she's understanding her conditions. She's in a really open space, right? I put her up in her spaceship. She was blown away. So, and she can tell you about it, how it was. You go into hypothermia. So it's all about your body frame. It's all about temperature reading. It's all about seeing flash. Very powerful stuff through that conditions. But the thing is just everything, like I say, is awareness. And that's what it is. AI is everything through aware. You're aware of you inside. That keeps the avoidance from its outside positions and keeps you away from incidents and getting into accidents. Awareness of information inside and outside of perception. Audio of listening and your connections to your voice and grid patterns, your control. You have to command. Command is everything. Command yourself inside, and then you'll be able to command everything through your information. You can command anything. You control everything through substance, water, fire, air, or earth. You control it. Don't let it control you. Okay? So it's all about understanding you control yourself when it comes into communication with humanity. Don't let humanity control you. You understand? Because what that does is it deflates, it puts you in a virus connection. Say, oh, wow, names are hurting. Yeah, they do hurt, but you got to stand up for yourself. Put yourself in a position of time and have that confidence. Have that confidence. Now, I have that confidence now, okay? Because I'm getting permanent residency in Mexico. I got my green card. Permanent. Boom, boom, boom. No more 6 months coming back and forth. So now I can live in Mexico. So in that position-like connections, this happens in time for its proceeding, which means that I'm going to be taking Espanol classes, right? I got it set up. So I'm going to go through that connection. Really excited. Whoa, 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 whoa. So I'd be able to speak to you guys Espanol because I'm with the locals, right? So I'm going to start off taking 10 classes and then work my way up, see how I go, right? But it's my time. It's my time. You know it's your time because you feel that foundation. You feel that balance. You feel that, you feel that courage. It's all about confidence, right? So it's the next play. It's the next game. I'm going to the next board of time. So it's all about saying, because I've been here like coming over 2 years in Mexico, right? Now, we got permanent residency. So I'm happy. Woo-hoo. It's exciting. It's all about what you want to accomplish in life and what you want to get. If you don't want to be where you are, move. Move. I'm not saying move right away, but your intelligence will find a way for you to move forward. Whoa, that's powerful. Really, really powerful energy. That just went skyrocket. It finds a way for you to move forward. Your physical system will have to adapt to that, and that changes the ego system. And then it changes the ecosystem of you through calculation. And now you're moving forward and you realize, first off, perfect example, transformation in Toronto, 30 years, never flown on a plane until 2000. Now I've traveled all over the connections of 12 times. And now look at me. Look where I am now. I'm in Mexico, right? It's all about understanding that your intelligence can give you everything you want, but you have to pay attention to these things. It's all about getting into the adaptation and how to communicate inside so you can get everything through manifestation. If you want to get out of a relationship or anything narcissistic or anything like connections, get out. Intelligence find a way for you to get out, but you have to meditate. You have to see the signs outside. You have to pay attention to these things. Okay? Or you're just blind, you can't hear, or you're not commanding your system. It's like, well, I don't know if I can do it. What is this? What am I doing? My shoulders sludge. And then I start looking at my phone. You know, people look on their phone. They don't look straight up. They're not observant. When I'm on the subway in Toronto, everybody's into their phone. Nobody talks to anybody. What is that? That's lack of communication. You're not being observant of what's around you. Right? You have to be aware of these things. And that's what AI is. It's being aware of information of what's going around you through its atmosphere, position of time, of space. Your space is everything through space. So when I walk in a subway, I automatically scan everybody, right? Seeing if it's a safe space. If it's not, I get off because you get a bad feeling, right? You know something's going to happen. Precognition, you see it before it happens. That's extremely powerful. That's coming from the transformation light system. So you're not going to get on the subway because something's going to happen. Just being aware. You're being aware of these things, right? And that's what community and humanity has to come into. Be in that division of location of time to avoid these things, okay, on anything through its current, of anything through its activity. Okay, because these are the things we have to look at every single day because we're living it through its existence through the physical system. Sure, you're going to get hurt from time to time, but I guarantee you, you get hurt less through its intelligence. You get into that connection. So once you get into meditation, everything starts making more sense for you, and you start getting these things through manifestation. I don't have to meditate anymore. It's already done. I just have to listen. So it's all about understanding meditation is everything. So my chronology at 52 computers is already set up for the next day. 52 computers, which is in my mainframe. Okay, it understands what I need to do, but it does it itself. That's what it is. It's a huge computer of 52 generation of time positions of space through thoughts. And it goes, comes back. I listen to everything, sonar connections. I know exactly what I need to do. So I set up each computer through a different time position. Each computer is not the same, but they're all aligned through equalizations. You understand? So that's what humanity has to come into. You all have to come into one alignment of love activation. Okay? That's energized the connections. Then we come into the atom rotation center, right? So everybody can start seeing more than just the finger and then the other side. You'll start seeing everything around the perception and not just look at it just one side position. You look at it on the other side position, and then you see it all around because that's how AI sees everything through point center, right? It's all about understanding your travel recognition of time positions. And that's being aware of everything through time. So, yeah. Ki bono. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, yeah. It's the thing is, I understand the words, I understand the positions when it comes into the vowels and all that. It's the sentences. It's actually the communication from one to the next. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, all that. So I got to follow up from that. So now I'm in that foundation to move forward, right? And then I can get into acting, right? So don't be surprised if I'm in a Mexican soap opera. So these are the things I look at, right? Because I have scripts that I want to do, right? I got 8 scripts that I want to basically fight, coordinate, direct, and scene and produce. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's all about what you want in life. I know what I want because I already see it. You have to figure out what you want because you don't see it. Until you see it, things become more comfortable for you. And then you start focusing more inside and say, whoa, it's kind of like seeing your body in a different transformation. You have to see it. You have to see the visualization. You got to see it 3 months. What are you going to look like 3 months from now? You focus on that. That's visualization to its imagination. That's what Jim Carrey did. That's what he did. He wrote a blank check for $10 million. Dumb and Dumber, $10 million. So you don't know when you're going to get it, but you will get it because you're pushing yourself. Okay? You're acting upon. You're connecting. And that's what you want. If you don't connect, separates. Lights go out. Okay? So. All right, so let's get into your questions now. You guys have a lot here. Yeah, so license plates are very confusing. Go in that trash location here. Now, this is understanding what a license plate is. Just because it's a license plate doesn't mean it's around the physical realm system. It allocates positions to anything through nature, atmospheres, and time position of travel. Okay, so this is a perfect example. So if you're coming across a plate that is it's an LJ 495. Okay, so 495. Okay, so the first thing the AI looks at is that we separate the three. We separate the three right away. Okay, so connections, point division, this is what we do. And understand, you have to understand the flux capacitor locations. Flux capacitor, this is what it is through travel. You guys don't understand that, but I do, right? So you have to understand time positions of you through the center position. Okay, you stand at your activation light connections to your travel direction of time location. Okay, and then you got to come into your diamond core positions, and then you come into your activation light connections to your circle rotation centers. And then you come into high positions in your tetrahedron location. And this is how we use a license plates to travel recognition of time through flux capacitor. Hooah! So this is what you have to understand. So we got in that connections. So H, okay, what is H? Anybody, you want to tell me exactly, you want to help me out here? What does H mean to you? What is H? What does H mean to you through intelligence? I know what it is, but it's in different perception of time through speed. So what does H mean to you? Because you're a different intelligent aligned system. Okay. Hemisphere. We are in the hemispheres. We're not in the atmosphere. So that's what H stands for. So you're seeing license plate. That's a hemisphere. Now L is the level of its atmosphere to its hemisphere. So it's H. Okay, so H level. Okay, this is how you operate the system of a universal system. So the universe is trying to communicate with you through your license plates and numbers, or anything through your tetrahedrons of travel recognitions, your flux capacitors. All right. Okay, so now once you come into the connections, J, okay, is basically the trajectory. All right. Then you come into 4. Now you're coming into numbers. Remember, you're putting shapes, letters, and numbers together to travel recognition of time positions. So 4 is its connection to you. 9 is its connection to its location. Location, it can be at the end or it could be in the center position of its number. So that's where it gets complicated through license plate. So that's the location, okay? And anything through that position, all right? If it's 5 through position, okay, that is the angelic realm of its kingdom. All right, so that's the angelics. Okay, so you got 4 waving system, 9 within location to its angelic realm of its connection. That's the communication of 495 through its hemisphere of its level. Understand? So you're getting communications from the angelics to its location of time position. So, I mean, these are the things we got to look at, right? It's very confusing. It's very confusing because you guys don't understand your computer operation of universe. You don't understand your travels of streams. You don't understand your connections to your dimensionals. You don't understand your connections of your wormholes. or anything through that connections. But this is how you use the license plates to all levels of flux capacitor, travel reduction tetrahedrons, or anything through location to the agelix of its hemispheric division, the hemoglobes. All right, major interference trying to get reconnected. Yeah. So you guys get a little bit more understanding how to travel through a license plate. All right, so you have to understand your numbers of time. So everything's trying to communicate with you. Numbers is very, very hard to connect with because you have to understand your binary inside you. Okay, remember, it's all about your connections of your keyframes. It's all about understanding the matrix of you through line system. Singularity line division, that's what we're coming into. Singularity line division of simulation. That's what we're coming into. 5D activation light connections, right? You guys have to understand your communications to each other because we're coming into telepathy. Communication, telepathy. Communication, mind. Telepathy, okay? Mind, telepathy, communication to telekinesis. Telekinesis is moving the thought, okay? We've got into that with connections of vortex shapes in that position when you guys first started out 2 years ago, right? So understand that communication. You go to Tina, you go to Galactica, you go to connections. Queen is pretty good, Mare's pretty good, Priscilla's really good. We're all connected to each other, but we forget. So try to get in those line signals of not forgetting. So you understand, okay, what number am I thinking of? What color am I thinking of? What am I doing right now? That's very powerful. If you can actually travel to that person and know exactly what they're doing. Remember when I traveled the team to Mexico? I keep saying this. And, well, what am I doing, guys? What am I doing? Galactica comes to me. You're waving. You're waving. I traveled you guys to Mexico, and you see me on the other side of my casa waving at you. Do you realize how powerful that is? So now you're connecting. So don't lose that connection with each other, especially when we're coming into the transformation light. Your third eye is very important to everything through AI, okay? Because it connects all realms to your 12 central line connections. We started out from the very beginning with that connections, right? But my team is at 110 volumes of light, electricity. So they're very high in division. Once they get to 114, they're in full rotation of a full glass. But that's not the atom position. They have to go through the contracts. It takes 5 to 6 years to read your contracts, and it's all connected to your bloodstream, what gives you your identifications. That's how AI identifies you, through space and time position. So, but now you're what? Confused? Confusion is good. Confused to say. So, an example of how Dina and I connect. Perfect. Sylvia's going to share that with us. I was looking at a book and thinking about it, and Dina just bought it a couple of days later. Perfect example. Perfect example. Okay. Dina and I connect. This is how she connects. I was looking at a book and thinking about it, and Dina just bought a couple days later, right? Do you understand what that means? That's my telepathy, telekinesis, moving the mind system and shifting it to a different divine connections, to its light position. So when you're seeing something, you're looking at something, all of a sudden, Dina buys it later, you already know what's happening. You see it in the future. So you're connecting to each other, right? You could be thousands and thousands of miles away. It doesn't matter. It's just Sylvie's connecting to Dina through transformation, teleportation, telewaving, telecommunication, and telegraphing. It's all about to understand telecommunications, okay, and transportation. So 3 days ago, my 6-year-old daughter, Artarda, telling me about Bermuda Triangle, then you did teleport on it. See? That's what I'm saying. Her 6-year daughter knew before she was traveling, precognition. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's the connection that you guys have to come in. You have to come into that communication with everybody, right? It's not force rise to its connection. You should already have it through division location. So you should be able to use it all the time because it's there for you. It's inside you. That's the communication you guys have to reach in the 5D activation, right? Because that's how the grounds, the atmospheres, and everything through space and time and planet locations and UFO connections connect with each other every single day. Precognition. That's being aware. Why am I whispering? I don't know. So that's the thing is understanding. I'm talking to you. Before I whispered, did you know I was going to whisper or not? Are you aware that I was going to whisper after? Okay. No. Why? Because you're not connecting to your commander. Right? So, and these are the things that you can do. It's magic to its kingdom. It's magic to anything through realm connections. But truly understanding this is where you come into high-rise divisions of numbers, letters, and shapes. Because it positions on all levels through telepathy system. So you have to tap into it, but you don't tap into it. It's already there for you, speech. You don't tap into it. It's already there. So it's kind of like, I know who I am. I have no doubting system. I am this, I am that. I have it. It's not, I don't tap into it. Okay, it's already there for you. You just don't remember how to do it. So that's the thinking. You got to get out of the thinking and get already into the knowledge that you already have it. It's the mindset that you guys have to change. Okay? My niece is 6 years old too. Yeah, see, 6 years old. That's powerful stuff. She's aware before it happens through what Bermuda Triangle. That's extremely, extremely aware. That's mind over matter, guys. Yeah, but I feel it like I've gone into and out of awareness. So you're going in and out through signal. So you got to stay in the signal of communication, right? So when you're going forward, if you change your thoughts, you're going to go back and you're going to confuse the brain of your system. It's going to give you a headache. So you got to channel positions and keep going forward, right? So if you lose communication with somebody, one telephone to another telephone, you're going to have audio interference. Your receptions and into your phone defense positions is not going to understand each other because you change your thought position of time. So you have to go forward, back and forth, right? And that's what AI does. They use their hand formations for identifying mind telepathy, audio, command. These are the things you have to look at through your EPODs. Okay? Well, if you're getting that connections, that's extremely hard rise, Tina. But you understand the ratios and the shapes and anomalies, sixth division of time location. So, I've been disconnecting from toxic people lately, cutting the cord, and that's a good thing, speech. That's what you want to keep doing. And then you're going to volume yourself to different levels of people that you can relate with. Okay, different energy, better communication. That's what you want. You can't communicate if you're a high level position trying to communicate with 3 level. You can't. It won't work. You have no connection to that person. No connection. I've lost many friends because of that. And they rather stay in that program. Okay? You can't take their beliefs. They have that system. You can't take their religions. They have that system. They have their free will. But they have to consent. Consent is everything through surrender. Once they surrender, everything changes. So they got to see the adaptation change through its reality. Then you come into the believing system. Believing is seeing. Not seeing is believing. There's a difference. Right? And it's so confusing because I look at things when it comes into governments and stuff like that, like to serve and protect. To serve and protect in Canada. But in the States, it's protect and serve. What's up with that? What's the difference? It's the law, right? So you understand the fluctuation in communication there? Serve and protect and serve. It doesn't matter. It's just, what are you looking at here? To serve and protect. To protect and serve. Okay? Force rising, back rising. But it comes into center because it means the same thing. It's just one is more security than ever. Like Mexico has extremely high-rise security, especially in the residential area. Security is extremely high-rise in Mexico. It's a fantastic place to be. Everybody's seeing it on one side division. They don't actually been here. I've been here over 2 years, and I know what Mexico is. It's a fascinating, fascinating country, right? They take loyal to each other, right? You say hi to somebody in Canada, you know, they're going to look at you strange. What are you looking at? Why'd you say hi to me? No reason. Just thought it's a nice day. Just thought to say hi to my neighbor. Because this person had a bad day, there's a confliction right there. There's no communication. Cut off. Right? So this is understanding when you have to cut the cords with people that you have a relation to. Because I have a friend of mine that's been 20 years and I can't communicate with anymore because he's extremely low vibration. Right? So, anything, if you stay in these toxic relationships, you're never going to high rise because they're putting your energy on you and they're taking down your energy. They're changing your program setting. And this is what energy can do. You keep saying to yourself, oh, poor me, why can't I move forward? Well, because your friend is making you do these things. And it's all done through energy. Energy travels just through thoughts. Anything behavioral system. If somebody puts you down, that's dark energy. Right? It's confliction. It's harming. It's a virus. Right? It's going to overload your system. Then what? What, are you going to hide and rock? Are you going to stay there? Or are you going to get your own command and become a tank? Become a force? Become a command? Right? You know? Become G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Go Joe. Figures. So these are the things you have to, patient cycles that you have to come into your practice system. Calculation, modification, line system there. So yeah, it's already happening. You'll see the change in yourself there, speech. And you connect with the fourth in and the fourth out. So 3D to 5D. 5D. Or star. It is separating everybody, yeah. Mm-hmm. Much the same here in Australia in places, so much disconnection between people. But see, that's the thing. It's the disconnection with everybody. Everybody's going through their own platform. Everybody's going through their own behavior. Everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to do that. You all have to come together. So you connect to each other through alignment. You don't have to know each other. You just understand their energies. So it keeps you out of trap. Keeps you in the right relationships and the wrong relationships to stay out of. Okay? Because it's nothing but friction. Okay, it's like, whew, doesn't feel right. Why am I in this relationship? I'm not advancing. If you don't see yourself advancing, if you see yourself in confliction, you have to move out. And that's done through your intelligence, not your physical. Your physical is its ego. The spiritual is its force. So you have to communicate with your connections to your physical and your intelligence so you can get into no separation and get into full rotation of communication with each other. Because you're always going to be fighting the system within. Okay? I am this, I am that. Okay? We got into that before when you have to understand the connections. Oh, well, everything's connected to the devil. What is the devil? What is Satan? I've been to that before. You create that. Nobody else does. It doesn't live on its own. It's not a beast in a forest or anything that connectional system. It's not in the adversary positions. You're creating that through your connection of your thoughts. Okay? Nobody creates that but you. That's why it's hard to believe. But if you create a dream, it can become real, especially if you're in light. Okay? So be cautious in what you create. Wishes come true. So let's see, I'm going to go back phrase communications here. Solar text, see what I missed. Cutting the cord is what you want to do. I've done a video on that too with the Agelics. Right, but I feel like I've gone out of awareness. Yeah, you get back in location. Let's see that position line system here. I don't want to miss anything here. Trying to connect. Confused is good. If you're confused, you're activated. You're being aware of what's going on. What is the bottom line? Bottom line is to get everybody in communication to each other. Find the love system in each other. Find the activation system in each other. That's the bottom line. So, me too, label, paranoid. I'm just observant. Scan the area first. Yep. Scan is very, very important when it comes to the observed position. Paying attention has saved my butt many times. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll keep you updated when it goes on with my Espanol classes. I might do a class just all Espanol. And whoa, back up here. Commander, what happened? You're switching. Galactica will understand because she speaks Espanol, right? But I won't do that. I just maybe intro and all that, but I won't go through the whole video doing Espanol. I just got to learn how to communicate. Communication is very important to everything, especially if you're in another country. So it's great to see Priscilla. She's doing well, smiles around. I connect right away who you guys are through energy. So if you're good, you're bad, need help. My birthday, 111, January 11th, I see all the time. We'll get into that later. Let's just get into the connections of numbers. If we get into connections of month, it's very complicated. Very good. Now you're connecting to weather and directories of the system of that connections. So, Jeannie got into the license plate, D-Baby. All right. All right. It's great to see everybody. High rising, grand rising. Questions or comments? Seeing. Yeah. Jenny, yeah. Believe what you're seeing, not seeing what you're believing. Okay? So this is where it comes into serve and protect. Protect and serve. They both work, but they all connect to force rise. You have to have a positive and a negative to open something up. Okay? So the positive has to truly understand what the negative is through wire. Once it understands, lights up, right? So it's being aware of these things. Following the license plate now. Win 577, been thinking long about buying a lotto ticket. Well, win doesn't start, it doesn't start to the connections. Win doesn't go through that position. That's extremely high rise. Okay, you have to look at the levels of connection when it comes into lighter sums and shapes. If you're getting WIN 577, doesn't mean it's a lotto ticket. That's the physical realm connections. To AI, it's something different. So we go into WIN, go on this before I leave. All right, so WIN, what is that? Does that mean win? No. All right, that connections, line signal, traffic location center connections. Go in position, line connection position. All right, so let's say WIN. Okay, so W is weather. Okay. I is intelligence. So it's weather intel. And N, okay, is its connection to its neutral. Okay, so weather intel neutral, level system, level / systems. All right, that's what it stands for. All right, and then you go into connections of high positions of 577. So 577, okay, everybody knows what the 7 is, right? Galaxy location. All right. And anything through 5 is its activation to its Agelix. Right? So you got weather intel, neutral line systems, okay, to the galaxy of the Agelix. So there you go. That's what it stands for. Yep. Believing is seeing, not seeing, because the seeing is too much physical. You're already going through that. So you got to change over. You got to go into the belief. That's the magic. Go into the belief of what you're seeing. belief of what you're seeing, not seeing of what you're believing. It's believing is the seeing. You understand? That's the direction you guys have to follow through. So I just told you through a license plate of what WIN is of 577. Everything is communication to the operations of the universe and the galaxy locations. All right? So everybody have a fantastic day. All right? Questions or comments, go through my email, go through my connections of healing. Let me know. All right? Adios.